Hello and welcome back to Pop Science. Today's experiment is called, and I can say it this week, Magic Milk. And you can be slightly creative in this. So I love this one. I'm Professor Raquel and this is the lovely
Professor Anne, hi.
Yep. So as usual with all these experiments, the most important part of it is health and safety. So just be careful with some of these. We're using some liquids which can't be swallowed in any way nor form. So, such as washing up liquid or dish soap, as it is. Be careful that we're wearing clothes which could get scruffed up or dyed because we are using food colouring. Also be aware, since we are using such things as liquids, is slips, trips and falls. We don't want anybody ending up in A&E. I would say have a bit of adult supervision because we're working with oils, etc. And it saves any unforeseen accidents. Just a bit of caution, we are using, depending what you are using, there could be glass involved. We're using a glass plate. And like it says, a bit of guidance from adults and away you go. So I'm going to introduce you to Anne, who is going to do the materials list.
Right, guys, so this is an absolutely fabulous experiment. You'll love it. So what you need is some either almond milk or ordinary cow's milk. You don't need all this, just a little bit will do. We're just using, say, ordinary milk, some soap, or she's using elbow grease washing up liquid, just in a little bowl there. Q-tips, which basically are your little cotton buds that you're not supposed to put anywhere near your ears at all. So just for the experiment, you don't clear your ears out with them. Food colouring, which we've had used before, which you can get from any supermarkets. So various food colourings. I think we're using green, red, blue and yellow. And either a bowl or a plate for this. So once you've got everything ready, you're all good to go.
Yep. So I'm just going to adjust the camera. So I'm going to be explaining what this involves. So I'm going to focus on the plate for you guys. So with mixing the food colouring, the milk and the dish soap, what do you think is going to happen within it? So just pause this video and just write down a couple of things what you think might happen. Will there be reactions? Won't there be reactions? So I'm going to explain to Ad now what we're going to be doing. So step one is fill the plate or bowl with milk. Now we only want a slight bit, just that much. And then what we're doing now, or what Anne's going to do, so step two, drop at least 2 drops of each food colouring in. And we're using 4 different colours, so you can use whatever colour of your choice. So Anne's done a blue. I'll do another dot over there, and so let's mix it up a slight bit more. So yeah, so we've got blue, green, yellow, red, and I put one more in there. That end, since you put blue in here. And what Anne's going to do now, so now generously dip the end of our Q-tips in the washing up liquid, like Anne's doing there. So generously.
There you go.
And then I'm going to focus in on this.
You ready for this?
And what do you think will happen? So Anne's going to dip it in. Yep, I'll put some more dish thing on the other end. Or even try dripping it in, Anne. See what happens. As you can see, even though Anne's took it out, there's still reactions.
You ready?
So that is just dripping it in.
or you can swirl it around a little bit. You'll notice that the darker colour, the red, is actually at the bottom. So that has sunk to the bottom. And if you mix it round, it comes to the top.
And then we could also try, these are in it, so if we get a cotton bud, so basically we'll get more washing up liquid on this, and see if it does anything. And it's not. So this is a very short experiment, I will say. So it's a very brief one because the reactions are instantaneous. But yeah, have a go, and you can try it with different variations, which Anne is going to explain in a second. You're on, Anne.
Right, so like we said before, you don't really need much milk in there. So as I say, you don't need to go out and rush out by 4 pints from Asda or anything like that. It does create some nice colours, so you can experiment to your heart's content. You can try with different types of milk. You can try with coconut milk, rice milk, cow's milk, almond milk. The higher the fat content of the milk, the more pronounced the explosion should be. So the more fat you've got when you stick your bud in, then the explosion should be bigger. So you put it in and it should be quite a wide explosion of colour there. So we've used cow's milk. You can also experiment with cream, skimmed milk, see if there's a difference. You can pre-mix the soap and the milk for variation. As I say, we put the milk in there and then just stuck the end in, so you can have lots of fun with this. You won't have the colour burst effects with some of them. Some of the colours will separate for a long time and some of them won't, so it's just a matter of experimenting with it and seeing what it does. So you can have lots of fun with this one.
Yeah. So the science behind the magic milk experiment, as it already says, it is short bursts of colour mixing. So the science behind this is the molecules in the dish soap are attracted to the fat molecules in the milk. As soon as you introduce the soap to the milk or colouring mixture, the molecules race around trying to bond. The food colouring gets pushed around in the process and appears to burst. So there you have it for another wonderful experiment, and you can do this multiple times using household materials. So goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
Take care.
See you later. Bye.